Yep, that's right. Ys 1 Chronicles sucks compared to Ys Book 1 on the PC Engine. And it's not because of graphical style preferences. I've never been one to care all that much about graphics. Nor is it because of the music. The OST arrangements in both Chronicles and the PC Engine version slap. I'm pretty sure the Ys 1 soundtrack could be arranged by flutes and kazoos, whatever the heck this thing is that Soken used, and even South Park toilet humor sound effects, and still sound great. That's how goated the original soundtrack of Ys 1 is. So then why is the PC Engine version superior in my opinion? Well, before getting to that, here's a disclaimer. This video will only be talking about Ys 1, even though both these versions of the game have Ys 2 included with them. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's get down to business.
Level up, nice.
Did you see that? That was me hitting max level in Ys 1 Chronicles. What's the problem there, officer? Well, that was me hitting max level after 2 hours and 50 minutes of playing. That right there is my main problem with Ys 1 Chronicles. The max level is 10. That is not the case for the PC Engine version. What's the big deal with that? It's a short game. Wrong. It is a big deal, and it matters a lot actually. Especially once you make it to the Dharm Tower. The max level difference comes in clutch for the PC Engine version in two massive ways to make the game feel so much better to me. When you're locked in the Dharm Tower, you have already been max level for a while. So what's the reason to fight monsters? Gold? There's no shops in the Dharm Tower. Although, I guess getting this achievement on Steam might be worth it to some. Shiny new equipment from treasure chests in the tower? Unfortunately, the best equipment is useless for the final boss. So yeah, in Chronicles, fighting monsters in the tower is kind of pointless, which really rubs me the wrong way. Probably a lot more than others. Story time with Neo. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is one of my favorite games of all time. It was an awesome sequel to the original. Super Paper Mario was pretty decent, but it made me hungry for a true follow-up to Thousand-Year Door. Unfortunately, that follow-up was Sticker Star, and I was foolish to buy that game before learning any information about it. It was there I experienced one of the greatest gaming tragedies. An RPG in which for the entire game there is next to zero reason to fight enemies. There is no EXP, which means no leveling up. You gain some money, sure, but the only way to attack enemies is with stickers, a resource in the game. So not only is it almost pointless to fight monsters, it's also detrimental to the player, as you need to have stickers to advance through the game's boss fights. It is absolutely terrible game design. I played this game during a time when I finished every game I bought, so I have a lot of salt towards it. I don't know if I can ever fully forgive Nintendo for what they did to the Paper Mario series, but that remake of Thousand-Year Door was pretty awesome. So there's hope for the series again at least. Back to Ys. So yeah, the Dharm Tower in the Chronicles version always gives me flashbacks to the Sticker Star tragedy. Oh yeah, just in case anyone here is watching this video and has never played Ys 1, the Dharm Tower is essentially the second half of the game, so a lot of game time is spent here. I think it's a pretty big deal that almost half of the game is spent in an area where combat is pointless. It felt so good a few years ago when I played the PC Engine version, however. Going through the Dharm Tower and still gaining EXP to level up makes the game so much better for me. Now earlier I said the max level difference affected the game in two massive ways. Now it's time to talk about the greatest menace in all of Ys history. Dark Fact. Dark Fact, to put it lightly, is a bullshit boss fight. This freaking guy flies around the screen like a DVD logo with millions of fireballs flying at you, which you somehow just have to get used to. But these fireballs aren't the bullshit of this fight. Nah. It's whenever you hit him, he removes the limited floor space that you have. If you run out of space, you will fall, and it's game over. This is by far the most frustrating boss fight in the entire E-series, and might even be a top contender on a list for all of gaming. Throughout the years, I've played East 1 Chronicles 3 or 4 times, and I don't even want to know how many game overs I've gotten against this asshole. Yeah, the glorious treat you get at the end of the Darm Tower is this guy. Just fantastic. Love to see it. So how does this connect with the PC Engine version being better, you might ask? Well, since you can actually grind levels in that version, Dark Fact can actually be beaten a lot more reasonably. Now I can see some people arguing that the Chronicles version makes Dark Fact more memorable, and a better villain and all that jazz, but I'll take being able to beat him in one try over 20 plus tries any day. Perhaps the best way to go about this for newcomers is to play Chronicles first, and then play Book 1 for an East 1 replay in the future, so they can have Dark Fact as a menace in their memories, but get the glory of destroying him in the PC Engine version. So there you go. That's why I think the Chronicles version of East 1 is inferior to East Book 1 on the PC Engine. But there are definitely some ups Chronicle has over Book 1. For starters, Chronicles is the canon version of the game in the East timeline. Now it being canon is for some mostly minor story changes, but it definitely makes a difference. If you don't play Chronicles, you will miss out on some references in future games. Also, the English translation of Book 1 is a little shaky. There's quite a few mistranslations in there. I would say if you have already played East 1 Chronicles, you should seriously consider giving Book 1 a try, especially if what I said about the game in comparison sounded good. And if you don't want to play it, at least listen to its OST. Oh man, the PC Engine arrangements of the music are absolute fire. Even though I don't like East 1 Chronicles for the reasons I stated, and vastly prefer Book 1, I still respect the hell out of it. After all, it's the canon starting point of our favorite red-haired adventurer. Hopefully I didn't instill anger, but rather a reason for some out there to try the legendary version of East 1, which was ahead of its time. Seriously, music and graphics like that were mind-blowing for 1989. Anyways, as per usual, thanks for watching. I'll see you around. Have a good one. Peace.